Well, Donald Trump admitted what many of us have suspected for a while, which is that the government shutdown, at least in part, is part of the determination that Republicans want to get rid of Obamacare by choking off funding for it. This is part of Project 2025. This is what we suspected. This is what some Republicans have been admitting. And so here is the video, and there is some deep analysis to be done here.
President, are you open to extending the Affordable Care Act subsidies?
We want to fix it so it works. It's not working. Obamacare has been a disaster for the people, so we want to have it fixed so it works.
That is a no, ladies and gentlemen. They are not open to extending Obamacare subsidies. Now, let's zoom out just a little bit. Some of us are old enough to remember that after Obamacare was first passed in 2010, Republicans made, I don't know the exact number, it doesn't really matter. It's more than 60. More than 60 times Republicans did these symbolic votes to try to repeal Obamacare, but we knew it wouldn't go anywhere because even though they controlled the House, they didn't control the Senate, and Obama would have vetoed it anyway. It was a waste of your time. It was a waste of my time. It was like flushing taxpayer money down the toilet. But eventually, when Donald Trump became president, they were in power, and they came up with an idea, which is that without going through the legislative process, we can hurt Obamacare. They hurt me. They can hurt Obamacare by eliminating the individual mandate. The individual mandate said everyone's got to have some health insurance. And the reason for that is the way that insurance works is you want a really, really big risk pool. If you only have the people most likely to use healthcare in the system, then the math of it is not going to work and it's going to make it really expensive. So they figured out, hey, we can hurt stuff by not funding it. When it comes to the Postal Service, when it comes to Social Security, programs they don't like, departments they don't like, they figured out sometimes we can't get rid of it, but we can just starve it of money. It makes it suck. And then we go look at how much this thing sucks. Let's get rid of it. And so part of the desire for this shutdown is they don't want to relent on funding the Obamacare subsidies as part of a package to keep government open. Now, you might say, well, okay, they get rid of the subsidies. All these people that depend on the subsidies to afford their coverage can no longer afford their coverage. They have no health insurance. We're back in the situation where they go to the ER to get primary care. It's expensive. They don't pay. We all pay anyway. What's Trump going to do to fix that? Well, the answer is Donald Trump's plan has been just 2 weeks away. It's 2 weeks away, and it's been 2 weeks away since August of 2020, when Donald Trump said to the then Fox News host Chris Wallace, in 2 weeks, we will not only announce but sign into law a new health care plan. And it didn't happen. We're still waiting for it. So Trump's admitting it. Part of this entire shutdown thing is to kill those subsidies and people will lose health insurance. Donald Trump is arguing Portland is burning to the ground. It's not true. It's simply not true.
We're going to look at that. It was amazing. Portland is burning to the ground. It's insurrectionists all over the place. It's Antifa. And yet the politicians who are petrified. Look, the politicians are afraid for their lives. That's the only reason that they say, like, there's nothing happening. And you've seen it. The place is burning down, and they pretend like there's nothing happening. So we'll take a look at the order. We haven't seen.
You know what I've started to wonder? Is it possible that Donald Trump is being shown videos of Portland unrest from 2020 right now, and Trump just thinks that it's going on now? Like, is it possible that Trump is kind of being kept out of the loop about what's really going on in Portland? Because I don't know how you could come up with that perspective if you're actually seeing what's going on in Portland right now. And we've got, small protests, nothing's burning down. Trump's justification for sending troops in is just increasingly based on lies. And then finally, on the Portland ruling, this is so funny. Trump refers to a judge he picked as he, even though it's a woman. But that is the least insane thing that Donald Trump says here.
Well, I disagree with that. well if they put judges like that on. I wasn't served well by the people that pick judges, I can tell you. Things like that are...
He wasn't served well by the people who pick judges. He picked the judge.
It's just too bad. I appointed the judge, and he goes like that. So I wasn't served well. Obviously, I don't know the judge. But if he made that kind of a decision...
And by he, of course, he means she.
Portland is burning to the ground. You have agitators, insurrectionists. All you have to do is look at the television, turn on your television, read your newspapers. It's burning to the ground. The governor, the mayor, the politicians are petrified for their lives.
Mr. President,
And you have a judge like that, that judge ought to be ashamed of him.
He ought to be ashamed of himself. And it's a woman that Donald Trump selected. Nothing matters anymore. The facts just don't matter anymore. And one of the really interesting things is that you might think, okay, well, you know, Trump is one way when he's being asked questions by reporters, but he's different when he's being coddled by a friendly anchor. The problem is, even when coddled by a friendly anchor, these interviews are still completely abortive. Let's look at an example of one.